how do we optimize the customer journey? So we're looking at three kind of keys here. Really, we're talking about the tools and metrics that you can use to understand the customer journey and what ways you can optimize it. Talk about segmentation, and then also about cross-channel communication. So customer journey tools, really, these are kind of key three areas that we like in this customer journey tools area. Um, Customer journey tools topic. So analytics programs such as like Adobe Analytics or Google Analytics, like GA4, they really kind of help you map in the entry points and exit points of your online journeys. So this can kind of help you understand where people are coming in, what caused them to come there, and then you can even track them throughout those individual journeys, see kind of an average of, this person's going to this page, then they're doing that ebook download, and then they're going to the sign up for emails, and then they finally make that purchase. The other key aspect of the customer journey is the customer surveys. So this can be things like SurveyMonkey or Google Forms or Qualtrics. It can even be like a built-in web survey that you're using from maybe just your form builder. So these are really just using to gauge your customers' personas as well as the efforts and maybe sentiment that they have. So you could ask questions throughout their process of checking out or afterwards, like how was this experience? Was it easy to use? Do you have any suggestions? This is perfect for the Net Promoter Score, which we'll actually get into here shortly. Same with the customer um, effort score as well, which we'll also get into. Lastly, you have CRMs, which would be your HubSpot, Salesforce, Zendesk, those different kinds of softwares that really provide more of an omni-channel approach. So this could be things that are softwares that are melding together your online and in-person experiences all into one encapsulation. So they're really nice in the sense that it takes that full journey approach and then measures it throughout the whole map. So you can see people coming in from Google Ad, and then moving from the Google Ad to the email. Then from the email they made the purchase, and then maybe they came in store. You can really see that full gamut there with these type of CMS and our customer relationship management softwares. Then four key metrics that we really think help drive a stronger customer experience are really so net promoter score, the customer's effort score, your conversion rate, then your customer lifetime value. The net promoter score, this is probably actually one of my favorite ones. I love this. It's really simple. I've been studied a lot. Really, all you're doing is counting. You're like similar to counting cards if you're playing blackjack. And if it's a nine or above, a +1, 7 or 8, it's a 0, and then anything less than 7 is a -1. So what that's really gauging is people that are 9 or 10 are how often are they to refer this to or refer your product or service to a friend or family member. It's 9 plus. That's how likely they are to do it. It's fantastic, good. That's exactly where you want to be. If it's 7 or 8, it's okay. That means they may not. Anything lower than a 7, they're probably not going to do it. If you get a 0, they're definitely not doing it. So it's definitely something to look at. If you're not haven't done this yet, I would say highly suggest doing so. Just even doing it once a year at the very minimum for like a small business, and then doing kind of a frequent or ongoing test for more larger companies would definitely be advisable. CES, not the Consumer Electronics Show, but the customer effort score is very similar to the net promoter score, but this focuses on the effort it takes to either use your product or service or complete a transaction. So this is very similar, but you're asking it in three different versions. You can even do like a sliding scale. You can kind of like those doctor things where it's like, are you happy? Are you sad? Like what's your pain level type of scale. So that's what you're looking at here is that we can get the high effort, low effort, and then some effort. I mean, ideally, you should be in this low to some effort for most aspects. High effort should be very rarely, unless you're trying not to have them do that. Um, the low effort and some effort. I mean, if you have some effort, it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's benefits to that as well. But having a little bit of friction in your process can actually build customer engagement and customer loyalty because maybe they see it as being built themselves. If they're using something like um, they're making a customized platform for their emails. Maybe they need to upload their logo first. I mean, it has friction. It requires more effort. But once they do, now it becomes theirs. It is now their email system with their logo on it. So that little bit of effort may actually just increase their loyalty over time. The next one is conversion rate. So this is, I mean, very straightforward, kind of what you mentioned before. It's the number of conversions by the page views or entrances to your store. What this is really gauging then is just how effective you are at connecting the dots between what your customer is wanting, as well as providing it in the time that they need it and want it as well. Lastly, customer lifetime value. I think this is a really important one, especially once you get down to these segmentations. So you have the different 1, 2, and 3 segments here. You can see here, what we're just kind of viewing here is the dollar value over time. So we have month 0, which is that initial purchase, 3, 6, 12, and 24. The dollar values up here in the left. What we're just looking at is what did they do? So maybe the first person here, segment number 2, looks like they bought something for $10, then they moved up to 20, then they moved up to 30, then 50, and then they shot up there to 90 by the end of 2 years. So that person is actually more valuable than over time versus this person here in segment 1, which has just bought something once for $20 and then never purchased again. So when you're mapping these different segments of customers, which we're going to get into here in a second, you might be good to understand what their value is as well. So when you're making a business decision, you want to understand, who do we want to target? Who is our most important customer? These can really matter in making those decisions because you might need, maybe if your cash flow is tight, maybe you need more of these segment number 1s, or is it, sorry, segment number 3s. Segment number 3 is here, the yellow line, because you need cash now. Like was it JG Wentworth? You need cash now. Whereas the segment number 2 is actually more profitable over time. So if you have currently a decent amount of cash flow, you're ready to go, you're ready to play a little bit long term here, you can definitely maybe emphasize this segmentation here. Or the other option is seeing what the difference is between these two, which we can look into here next. I'll give you some key tips on how to look at those segmentations and how to differentiate them, and kind of label them and look at them differently than when you map them out. So then just 2 key areas there to look at. So you can see maybe you can make this segment number 3. Maybe they're doing something different than segment number 2, or maybe they saw something different. Maybe they're buying something different, and maybe you can try to figure out what you can do to make segment 3 look more like segment 2, but still start off at that $20 rate. So segmentation tips. So really we're going to kind of dive into the 5 really key areas, the different segmentations that you can look at. And these are all just good starting points. The first off is demographics. These are your really basic age, education, gender, income, marital status, occupation. So like what job do they have, how old they are, what type of education do they have? Do they have a bachelor's? Do they have a trade degree? Are they licensed in something? Then their gender. Usually, for most businesses, this isn't as important, especially not anymore. Income is also another good one. A lot of times, especially for advertising purposes, though, you can't target certain income brackets. So you're going to have to look at maybe if it's high end, you can target it, but maybe not the other way around. And then marital status as well. Normally, this doesn't play a huge factor, but it could. If you're a real estate agent looking to sell homes, in maybe a 55 plus area, maybe marital status does matter. Maybe those married folks are more likely to purchase in this 55 plus place. So you're definitely going to want to look for the age of 55 plus. They're probably going to be higher educated. They're going to be higher income. Maybe they're going to be married because they have that dual income necessity for this more affluent area. So they're just kind of key aspects to look at. By any means, demographics are not an end all be all. We definitely want to look at more of the action based if we can. which we'll look at here in a second. So psychographics, these are a really what makes up like the mind of a person. So you're looking at their values, their interests, the lifestyle, the personality, attitudes. So what this really is, as far as the values go, I mean, this could be kind of going back to that demographics where you're looking at more of like kind of like what they value as a person. What do they believe in? What is their belief system to some degree? And then looking at their interests. So like I like trees, I like bonsais. So maybe there's something there in your realm. Maybe if you're selling plants of some sort, you can target me from the bonsai side of things. So for like our example here from central Pennsylvania, there's Longwood Gardens has bonsai trees. Emphasizing those would actually draw me in more likely than maybe doing poinsettias or flowers of some sort. So that there'd be a way to target them. Same with lifestyle and personality. Those are just other key aspects. So like some people are more introverted, more extroverted. Maybe they like to go party at night. Some people don't like to go party at night. Same with attitudes. This could also be something like having a more positive attitude, more negative, what their thoughts are on a certain topic. This could all be influenced in your segmentation. Behavioral benefits, behavioral aspects are going to include those benefits, purchase, the timing that they're making those purchases, how they're using it, and then also loyalty. So the benefits were really going to be focused on the individual level. So it's going to be like, what do I get out of this? What are the benefits for me? Um, Also the purchasing. So this could be like when I'm purchasing it, as far as the timing goes. So maybe for me, I'm an impulse buyer. I go out there, see something on the shelf, and just immediately buy it. Other people, actually, this is more like me, really, is I'm the thinker. I gotta look at it, think about it, process it, and then finally make the purchase. Usage is another one. So that's going to be how you use the product. And so some people are going to have different usages for those. We were actually talking about Jägermeister recently, about how that used to be a medicinal product, not anymore. But that's will be a usage case there. So some people have the behavioral usage of Jägermeister as a medicinal purpose. Other people have it as a fun time. Those that love licorice. Second to last one is going to be a geographic. This could be you're looking at things like such as country, state, county, community. Really, this one you want to drive down as small as you can or you need. So if you're a local business, you may want to look at the community level or county level because those might be different types of people. So for example, in Pennsylvania, here in central Pennsylvania, like Camp Hill, Harrisburg, Lancaster, and York all kind of have like a different um, viewpoint on things. They have a different aspect, but I mean, we're all very close. We're all within 20 minutes, 30 minutes of each other. But you're definitely getting a different kind of feel from each city, each town there, each community. Same with state and country. I mean, if you're a international company, you definitely know that different countries have different means, different wants. So you're definitely going to adapt to that. Same with states. I mean, there's definitely a big difference between maybe New York City and California. Same with like Idaho and Texas. I mean, you're definitely going to want to look at those geographic areas from that and maybe adapt your marketing and customer journeys based on those states and those geographical areas. Last parts for segmentation. This is going to be more for the B2B side. So those businesses that are targeting other businesses. You're going to look at these aspects here, such as revenue and structure. Employee count is another big one for us, even the kind of customers they have. So if you're looking for a business that maybe targets a certain kind of business, so if they're a direct to consumer, maybe you are looking for customers that fit. Sorry, you're looking for businesses that target certain customers because you know that those customers have the same values as you do, so you can kind of reverse engineer that upward to target that company. Revenue is usually a big one too. Same with industry. As far as for B2B marketing goes, you definitely want to make sure that the people can afford your products. So breaking down your segments of your customers by your revenue or their industry can kind of help you get a clearer picture as to the different customer journeys. Kind of going full channel here. So maybe we're talking about that cross channel. So this is going back to that tree. You have those different aspects, cross channel communication, and really then drive all of those together. So going quickly backwards here. So these segmentations, you can use these to make this tree. So when you're looking at the different areas, you might have the ability for your customers to look at the CRM, or sorry, no, the CRM, visit your website, and then go to your CRM, and then go back out via email. So that this can be something that you can use those segmentations to understand where they're coming from and where that their flow is as a whole. Maybe different industries or different um, attitudes or different benefits or personalities are coming through different areas. The more extroverted person is going to come through that social channel here, versus a person that is a little bit more reserved may come through search. They're looking to do it more with a less interaction with a person versus more interaction with a person. Same with like a point of sale system. So transitioning here to the cross-channel side of things. So cross-channel communications, this is another area that you can improve upon. So this is just going to be looking at it from that more strategic level on our touch point tree. So we have the search, social, email, point of sale system, which is your in-store, then website and your CRM here. So the benefits of having a connected journey. So looking back here, I'm sorry, they have the connected journey here. So you have they're all connecting into that website, and ultimately the CRM or the database or the data warehouse. So what this does then is it connects all those different aspects. What we mentioned earlier, where you want to retarget people, this can really emphasize and increase the value that you're going to see as far as your ad spend, as well as the customer journey. So if you can have social that's influencing your email marketing, you'll start seeing customers that are happier. You'll also start seeing a better return on investment. So one example of this I find is that Harbor Freight. I think they're a great example. Same with Target. Target actually got themselves in trouble for it for years ago. Would be that they would take purchase decisions. So people would make a purchase in store. They would take that data, analyze it, and then they would send out flyers to people, letting them know that they can, they can buy um, things for pregnancy purposes. They can buy diapers, different things like that. And then people got in trouble because they didn't tell other people they were pregnant. So then Target, of course, kind of had to reel that in, and now they do it a little bit more sly, where it's more customized, but there's definitely still kind of a more general feel. Before, when targeting was a little bit more open, people would take that POS data and then they would be very astute in driving home a message instead of being kind of more general and uh, letting it seem more hidden now. We definitely are a little bit more used to the privacy concerns. Another benefit of the cross-channel um, marketing like that, so you're connecting all those different dots, connecting the data between all your different platforms, is you can really see a clearer journey. So you're going to understand where people are coming from. As we mentioned earlier, like maybe you don't see that where TikTok's going back and forth as far as data. Well, maybe you're not collecting the data from TikTok. Maybe you just know they come in there, but you don't know what video they're watching. You don't know what ad they're seeing. So having that cross-channel connection all from that one singular database and our website can really make a clearer customer journey to understand and reinforce our customer journey tree and to make better decisions forward. Another one for like a retail store is really going to be like the seamless inventory. So I've seen it before where people you see online, it says you have 25 in stock, you go in store and there's none. So having this cross-channel communication between your e-commerce store and your store floor is really important to make sure that inventory is in stock for your customers, as well as for your inventory purposes and purchasing purposes as well. It also can increase your customer retention. So when you're having people that are returning to your store or interested in returning to your store, you can then target them with ads or target them with emails that are more customized, kind of like that target example, where you can make sure that they're getting the emails that are important to them. You're not wasting their time sending emails that are, filled with fluff that's completely irrelevant to them. You're going to send them the right product, at the right time, so they can make another purchase. Or it could also be a service related aspect, which kind of goes into the loyalty a little bit as well. But the customer, maybe that after 6 months, they may have questions about a certain product, or you see on average that during your software um, startup phase, when they're looking into the software and kind of playing around with things, they about 2 weeks in is really when they really start to dive in and they get to the one key aspect that you really want to drive home for them. So you send them an email maybe on, a couple days before week two, so maybe like 12 days in, you send them this email saying, "Hey, check out this feature, look at this feature, see," and then give them a step-by-step explanation, which then reinforces that customer value to your business and also pushes them along that customer journey to keep diving them deeper into your business, as well as your product as well. So loyalty programs is another one. So this can be really, you can measure the effectiveness. This is also great for advertising if you're still doing that advertising where sending out flyers or coupons and you're giving 20% off something if they come back, just so you can try to measure it. Cross-channel communications will literally help you understand better what is driving that traffic, what is driving your sales. So you can throw out that coupon, just focus on what is working, drive home the awareness, drive home your loyalty, and really increase your customer sales in an effective way that may or may not have to include those coupons then. As you can tell, vary against coupons as far as measurement tracking. Last one then is personalized marketing. So this is really important, especially on the digital marketing side. I mean, a lot of times it's very simple side of things. You can use like your CRM system, like a HubSpot, or um, even any type of really MailChimp, any type of those email services. You see them a lot there where they can just add the first name, add a last name, add the company name, those different types of things. But really, as you get more and more versed in cross-channel benefits, you can really start to see greater personalization. And I think that's really going to be the future of the internet, and the future of marketing is going to be that hyper personalized marketing. We're going to see things that are adapting to our needs, adapting to our wants, all based on what we need and what we want at that time. But we're not going to start seeing things that are just kind of broad strokes, "Hey, John, great to see you at X. Here's the why I'm glad I saw you in EXP first." We're going to start seeing higher, more personalized aspects in our marketing. Maybe they're going to talk more to, or actually, they'll talk more like we would in B2B. But in B2B, I'm not going to talk to you in a sense that we just say, "Hey, John, great to see you at X event. Glad that we could talk about EXP first." Done. In a B2B setting, when you have that more personalized approach, you're going to talk to me maybe about like bonsai trees. Like, "Hey, I saw your dog. It's like, I love pit bulls too, blah, blah, blah. We should really connect sometime." We're going to start seeing those type of aspects coming down the pike for at scale. At B2C level, we're going to start seeing people be able to target customers at a level that is more concise, more interest, more values based, instead of having to just kind of broad stroke everybody, just saying, "Hey, great to see you, buy our stuff." We're going to start having conversations at scale. And I think that's really where we're going to start seeing the future is personalization, these cross-channel and omni-channel marketing schemes. It's just going to be that benefit of that personalization that drives home your message and drives home the benefits to that exact individual. No longer are going to be those days where we're going to have just just that broad stroke. We're going to see that hyper personalization that'll really make the difference between one business and another.